I joined the Toronto Scottish in 1988 when I started playing with the Colts.
Joined the Scottish in 99, I believe, 99, 2000.
Well, as soon as I was off the boat, and that was in June, July of 1969. There was a touring side in the north of England who recommended very highly, if you're going to Eastern Canada, then Toronto Scottish was the club to play for.
I joined the Scottish in 1992. I joined the Scottish because my high school teacher, C. Smoody, told me about the club. There wasn't a high school program for girls at Lawrence Park, so when I asked him to start a women's program, he said no and directed me to Toronto Scottish.
I joined the Toronto Scottish in 2010.
I joined Toronto Scottish in 1967. I was invited out to training by the Irish, and I was standing at Eglinton Park, and I was waiting to be called onto the field when I heard this voice shouting, "What the hell are you doing?" And I turned around, it was Bill Finlater. He says, "Get over there." He says, "You're joining us."
My father joined in 1967, played till 77, was club president a couple of times, so obviously I grew up watching him play. My greatest playing memory would be, I forget the year, I think it was about 1989, but I had the opportunity to play with my father. He was getting close to 50, and we played on a fourth team game against the Irish, I believe.
My greatest playing memories, there's two of them. The first one would be winning the under-21 championships. I guess it was my fourth year playing with the club, and it was a big championship. The Colts had not won a championship in a long time, so I was happy to bring that to the club. And the second would be our first game up playing in the Marshall Division. We were playing the Irish, and we were all full of piss and vinegar and intensity, and we beat the Irish.
In rebellious teenage years, and you just don't really want to be associated with your parents, but playing rugby with my dad, that was a very, very cool experience.
Well, always beating the Irish, or the Beach, they were the key opposition at the time.
Oh, my greatest playing memory is easily, it's beating Bob MacArthur every single time, beating Bob MacArthur over the 100-yard dash.
I was playing under my coach Al Hawes and winning multiple OWL championships, and again winning another OWL championship with Eddie Sun, who took over coaching from Al Hawes.
By far would be meeting my wife downstairs at a pint club night, a Thursday many years ago, probably 10 years ago or so. Some friends of mine on the club thought that it would be a good idea if we met, so they brought her along. Typical Thursday night, probably had too many drinks, but somehow I made an impression. But I guess the competition back in Newfoundland wasn't that great, so she decided to go on a second date with me. The rest is history.
My favorite memory was winning a whole team.
Over the years, playing with the club has taught me to win as a team, lose as a team, and play hard for your team, and party hard with your team. I think that sums it up in a nutshell. Yeah.
I think over the years, the club's taught me that there's 50, 60 other people that like to drink beer and play sports and have fun.
Yeah.
The memories that I can remember would be the multiple tours that we've been on, whether it's Fort Lauderdale or Montreal or Ottawa. They all have some stories that probably should not be told on camera.
And I've had the good fortune to coach some of the lads in this room, and that level of response and dedication has transferred not just on the rugby field, but outside that into administrative and other issues that will affect the club in the years ahead.
And as long as we have a strong alumni and a strong committee, executive committee, the club will always be strong. And it's up to each generation to become a strong alumni.
When I had the good fortune of being president for a couple of years, when I stepped down, obviously you kind of worry about who's going to take over. Are they going to be able to maintain the sort of momentum that you had? And the guys that took over from me, a few years younger, well, they went well beyond what I could have accomplished. The Raheems, the Dans, the Pinkies, the Callums, everyone. I mean, they got it to a point where we had this rugby rumble, and we're making more money than we ever did in order to sustain the club, and it's just awesome to see. It's awesome.
I'd like to thank Rob Thompson, Alan Geddes, and Bill Fritz for starting the women's program at the Scottish back in 1992, for being the first coaches for the women, and coaching 15 women who knew nothing about rugby.
The person in the club who's had the biggest influence on me and most people in my playing generation would be Pete Kiwi Weekly. And this guy, went out of his way to keep us together as a young group. He bought us beers after the game, and he coached us, but he really taught us about playing for the Toronto Scottish. And without him and his hard work, we probably wouldn't be around today.
I'd like to see the Toronto Scottish Rugby Football Club continue to grow, and to continue to be a power in rugby in Canada, and continue its winning traditions.